We are live. I am Lynn Serrano with my partner in crime.
Sheryl Isenhour again.
Welcome, everyone, to our show. Today, we're going to talk about take time to check out. So, check out this real quick and we'll be right back. Okay, enough of that. I looped it by accident. My goodness. I talk about take time to check things out or check yourself out. That's going to be today after the show for me, Sheryl. How are you today?
I'm not going to check completely out, but we're checking on slower today. Let's put it this way. It's time. It's hot. And I don't do this often, but I'm going to take some time to do a few things that it's not that it's going to be active, but stuff I need to do that I've just been putting off. I'm tired of it. And today seemed like the magic time. Now, if that's checking out, it's checking out of being in front of this computer. Okay.
Yeah. Well, today I had the privilege and honor to produce Debbie's show today with Steve Rizzo. And good morning, Ted. Thanks for being here. And so that was at 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'm in Mountain, so I was producing at 6 o'clock this morning. So of course I was up at 4 o'clock because I didn't want to like not wake up. And so, oh, and there's our Bob. Thank you, Bob, for being here. And so I was hoping to take a nap after that, but we were blessed to talk to Steve a little while after the show and stuff, and that was a lot of fun. But I thought it was cool that you picked the topic today, and on my memories on Facebook, this came up. Taking time to do nothing often brings everything into perspective.
It does. And even just changing your system. Like me, am I going to do something? Yes. But it's not going to be what I did yesterday and the day before and the day before that. And I think we all need that, Lynn, and we don't do it enough. I mean, they say you need to check out at least sometime every day. And I do. It's called when you go to sleep. And I'm not real sure I'm checked out then. And you're about the same way. You stay in front of this computer all day long. So,
I I'm changing that narrative, and I'm trying to figure out when to work efficiently and whatnot. But at nighttime, I love to talk to my friends, but I'm to the point where I gotta go. Like I just need that downtime, just and not just sleeping, but just to be with my thoughts. And I try to do that in the morning. Technically, I wake up like three different times in the morning. I'll wake up at 3 or 4 and be up, let the dogs out and do all that stuff. But I'm by myself and I end up taking like 2 naps in the morning before 8 o'clock. But I get so creative and so, into gratitude and look forward to my day and all those things. But, I've got to check out and check in with me in the morning and check in and check out at nighttime too. I've got to put that time in or else I'm not aligned.
well, as you know, I'm a morning person. Uh, I check out early, not early to a lot of people, but I used to be up at 11, 12 o'clock. You better have a really good reason if you want me up that late now. Because I get up early. The body needs X amount of sleep, and I had to give it to it at one end or the other. So I chose the evening, and I feel so much better since I've got a semi regular time to go to bed. And that's why it's hard for me to watch a lot of podcasts and things that are on late of the evening because my body's going to check out.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's the thing. I mean, we get these schedules that I've been trying to write my stuff down in a schedule. And to be quite honest, I'm not set for a schedule. I mean, because I'm observing myself when is my creative time. And sometimes my creative time is right before I do my my other shows, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to do this and that. So I mean, I think you need to follow the rhythm of your body and rhythm of your when you're when you're at your peak and when you're not, and try to do things in alignment with that if you can, because it really can set you off on a off kilter. I should say, which you know something about being off kilter, but
I kind of sometimes feel like I stay like that, but I'm I can tell you almost to the exact time that the body's going to say you need to slow down. But and it automatically does. If I'm going to do anything mathematical, I worked in the manufacturing plant for a lot, and if I was going to do any of the math assumptions in there getting the CADs ready, I needed to do it before 12, and I could do it very quickly. After 12, could I do it? Yes. But the mind seemed like it had to think a lot more, and I rechecked myself. So usually, if I do anything before 12, I don't feel like I have to recheck it. After 12, I catch myself doing it. So I'm a lot older than you, so I was able to figure that out younger.
well, yeah, checking out. I mean, even in between appointments, even between um what you're doing, just take a mental timeout, just a mental timeout, and you know, pump yourself up, laugh, do something different. You do, pick up your pen or do something. If you're righty, do it with lefty and vice versa. I mean, if you use other, and don't stay programmed in what you normally do. It's really important to not be so rigid, and you don't grow when you don't expand. You stay stuck where you're at. And next thing you know, it's just like a certain exercise. If you don't do it, you're going to be stuck in a way that you're not used to doing. So you gotta be flexible and flexible on your time as well.
I mean, for a long time, I used an app called Pomodoro. It's a, you know, work uh, 45 to 50 minutes and then it blings you out for 10. So you stop for 10. You can set it any way you want to.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while till I kind of got in a habit of doing it on my own. And I probably need to pull back out because I find myself working through that. But it's everybody needs that time to stretch, to do something. You said it earlier. You're stiff because you've been sitting in that chair a lot today because you did an extra show this morning.
Hmm.
Um, and people, it's your health. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not that old, but if I knew I was going to live to be this old,
That old.
I would have taken better care of myself years ago. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah, but you know what happens is we don't listen to the people that are giving us wise words when we're young. We don't care, And then there's those quotes that say, "Live, use that body," and I'm messing this up and I don't care, but the gist of the story is that they say, "Don't go to heaven with the perfect body or not a beat up body, use it all the way till you die kind of thing." So I'm messing that quote up, I know, but you get the gist of what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, well, I told somebody on my, I guess on my tombstone, they need to just etch in. It's been a hell of a ride.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you ask me, my body could tell you so. No. Oh, joining
That's
you
Jerry
on
just
lunch
joined
break.
us. That's
Oh,
Jerry.
hi, Jerry. Love you. I'm so glad you're here. And then my Fitbit does the same thing, 10 minutes to the hour, telling me to get my butt up. Yep, get
Does,
off my
does it
butt.
work, Robert?
Yeah, does it work for you, Bob? Tell us. I'll tell you what. Yeah. Well, anyhow, it really is just when you take time to check out and check on yourself, it's really important to do that. And Bob says, nope, he's got a desk job now. So, yeah, yeah. But, it's one of those things that just take a minute and, check on yourself. I mean, we eat 3 meals a day. Most people do. Check on yourself 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night, you know, and just give yourself that pep talk. We're surrounded by so many voices of different things going on and so many things that we do that, settle in and seep into the soil per se. And when it seeps in, then you get weeds. And
Yeah.
then that's a big problem we have.
Do you have a checkout spot, not just to check out in little spots? Is there a location that you can go and you're totally checked out?
Yeah, call it your happy place. But
Yeah.
you can also do this. I learned in neuro linguistic programming is that you can actually find and make any space that you go that's safe and enjoyable, and if you do that mentally, you can just and then you can anchor it by some part of your body. We're not going to a big lesson here, but you can anchor or trigger something by which is a trigger as an anchor. You can anchor something so that it's a pleasant, so when you need to reshift, you can shift yourself to that happy thought or the happy place and take time out there. And I mean, it just gives you that rejuvenation that you need to know and think of the times that were more glorious than others and go there. It'll help you to take time out and check out and get with yourself.
And sometimes take more than just a little while. Take a day, a week. It's hard for me to do a week, but take a day or something that the world is yours to do with, not everybody else's to do with your world.
Yeah. So, and here's my Long Island accent, but take a pause. Just pause for a little bit. And when you pause,
Mhm.
you'll realize that all we have is right now. And even in between appointments or this or that, we have a moment always. We just don't take those moments. By the time you're done bitching about I can't do this because of this, you could have did it. Like, I remember when my kids were little and I'd watch soap operas, but I had to had them napping, had to go do laundry, go downstairs or whatever. I'd wait for commercials. Commercials were great for me to go hurry up and do whatever I needed to do. And when you do that, you realize that you can do a lot in 30 seconds, 6 seconds, or when the microwave's on, cooking something, heating something. You can do a lot in just a little bit amount of time. But we make it exasperated by saying, oh, it's overwhelming. You're allowing all that other stuff to clutter what you're bitching about, you could have already done.
Jerry used to laugh at me, and he's probably listening. I'm sure he's still on there. But it was like he used to tell me I never went from one end of the house to the other without carrying something.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
but I did that, and it's amazing how much time I could save in a day because I just laid it down till I knew I was going that way instead of
Yeah,
going that way and coming back and going that way and coming back.
it's
And
being
it's
efficient.
very efficient. That's what we call it. And a lot, if you can be efficient and not like me, let's qualify this. If you can be efficient and make up all that extra time, that gives you extra time in the day.
Hmm.
Unlike me, that gives you extra time to do more stuff.
Yeah.
So, but it's like tomorrow, I've staggered interviews every 30 minutes. Don't know what I was drinking the day I left my calendar open like that, but I'm going to be in front of this computer all day long talking to people.
You
And so
see,
I
goes
don't
to
see a lunch break. Okay.
goes to show you, even at her age, sometimes you got to learn a lesson more than once.
Well, I learned it because I went and booked a couple or knocked a couple of places out for next week. But I did today got blocked off accidentally this evening did, which I'm glad it did. I was setting up my appointments for my chiropractor and I blocked off a little bit too much and I wasn't paying attention to it. You got to look at the number you hit when you close up a appointment. So I didn't really notice that till I went in and looked at my appointments. I thought, well, I don't have any this evening. And then I figured that part out. No, do I make mistakes? Yeah. And I don't mind telling you about them because if you don't make a mistake, you're not trying anything.
You're not human either.
Mm-mm.
We're here to have a human experience. And so you definitely need that. Bob says a lesson is repeated until it's learned by a change in your behavior. Absolutely. And then of course, when that becomes a habit, you got to realize that that's another condition you have. So again, to stay regular on something, then it gets to a point where, did I do this? Did I do this? You're questioning something you've already programmed yourself. So you got to realize everything becomes autopilot once you learn, you
Yeah.
know? And
And when you
so
look at your schedule booked every 30 minutes for hours,
either,
it don't take me but one time to pull this one, okay? But that was just called dumb. Um,
it
but
was a oopsie.
as my grandmother would have said, would have been holy shit. So it's the way it is. And I'm not going to call these people. When I make a commitment, I'm committed. I could call every other one of these and stagger them off, but I I can't do that to my clients. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't do it to someone that took their time to set up an appointment either. So yeah, I'll take the sword this time. Okay. My fault, my sword. So Robert, we're falling on it. But I'm just glad we didn't have this trying to work in between all that. So it worked well. But yeah, um, Friday will be a little weird because of having that much on Thursday because I don't know about you, but it kind of hypes you in a different direction. And it takes a little while to unwind, especially when you know it's your fault.
Yeah. Well, taking ownership of it is a great start, and then going on from there. And I know that you're not going to beat yourself over it, but I'll tell you what, every time you do an appointment, you'll be going, "Oh goodness, now I know why I don't do this."
It's called check your calendar once in a while. But
And yeah, check, people do pencil in. Pencil in some time for yourself. Literally, look at your schedule and say, "Where can I goof off or have time for me?" Give that to yourself, you know?
that's, the bad part is when you've got an automatic calendar that people can
Thank
sign
you.
to. But yeah, I have to do that. If I've got anything, I go in and block. But right now, the hiring pool's so screwy. You kind of have to take what comes when it comes, and it just
Right.
came yes or tomorrow. You do what you do. Again, but hey, we'll be through. I may be a pain by tomorrow evening. Just be very glad we didn't have this tomorrow night.
Yes, thank goodness.
It probably wouldn't have been real good. But yeah, the main thing is take your own ownership, and that goes right along with take your ownership of not taking time for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't change what's already happened 5 minutes ago, but you can certainly change it going forward. So with that in mind, make sure that you're checking your schedule to see where you can squeeze in some of you time. I mean, putting a cucumber on your eyes for 10 minutes or something, I mean, whatever you got to do something for yourself. It'll make you feel better. And it's a, compound effect. You do something a little today, it'll make a difference in the scheme of things. So, well, I am sleepy. I'm going to just take a nap. I got to produce the show. I still got to talk to Brian today. I still have other things to do, but I'm penciling out some taking time out for me. I'm taking some time out. That's what I'm going to do. So,
Do
let's see. What did Tate say? I give each customer 3 options for times I want them to fit on my calendar, and I block all out all Wednesdays and Sundays for me time. There you go.
you
That's
have to?
awesome. That's awesome. Well, Ted, thanks for sharing this out too. We are out of here. Until next time. Sheryl, got anything to say before we leave?
Just pencil me out.
Pencil. Pencil it in or pencil it out, but make time for yourself, because if you're not good in the inside, it's an outside job. Somewhere along the line, it's going to affect your production or how you show up in the world if you don't take time out for yourself. So be kind, starts with you. So we love you, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye, Sheryl.
Bye bye.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe inside.